Opening her eyes, Jane took a deep breath and let out a long sigh. Her office desk was covered with stacks of documents that she had been working on until late at night. She knew that today was the last day of the deadline for submitting the report on the company's financial indicators. Hysterics, despair, and fear grabbed her by the throat. Jane was in a state of emotional burnout. She glanced at her calendar in confusion and noticed that the deadline was only a few hours away. Despite the fact that she no longer had time to sleep and rest, she decided to give herself a break and went for a walk. The streets were quiet and peaceful. Jane walked slowly, trying to calm down and collect her thoughts. She looked up at the night sky and remembered her dreams, which seemed out of reach. She always dreamed of having her own company, of being a successful and independent woman. However, it seemed that nothing was going according to plan. Back at the office, Jane got back to work. Her hands were strained and her eyes were tired. She tried to concentrate and work, but her brain refused to work. Time passed, but the report was never ready. Jane was in a state of panic. She knew she was risking losing her job and her reputation. Her fears turned into reality. She was afraid to admit to the management that she failed to meet the deadline, and knew that her shortcomings would not be forgiven just like that. Glancing at the clock, it was 3 a.m. when Jane decided to make one last attempt at the task. She gathered her strength, turned on the music, and plunged into work. The time seemed unreal, but her hands and brain were working automatically. She didn't know how, but the report was ready. She breathed a sigh of relief, but her joy was short-lived. She knew that now her body and mind needed rest. Therefore, she went outside to regain her strength and collect her thoughts. Closing her eyes, Jane focused on her breathing. She felt the wind on her face and the smell of the flowers that were in the flower beds nearby. She felt calm and focused. Her emotions and fears took a back seat. Back at the office, Jane started working again, but this time she knew it was important to maintain a balance between work and rest. She learned to take breaks and perform certain rituals that helped her focus and relax. Jane knew it was important to keep herself and her health as top priorities. She understood that success cannot be achieved if a person does not know how to take care of his body and soul. Is this story true? Try guess about it in the comments.